following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Welcome to Bear Their Souls on the Barroom Network. Man, we got a fantasy football goon mashup going here. We got 3/4 of fantasy football goon here tonight, man. I want to thank Barflies for joining us on a Wednesday. We got Danikin stopping by later, and Fitz. Fitz has got some really cool food news from Sox Park, all that good stuff. But man, we got my radio son here, Joe Mandel. You haven't been back to Bear Their Souls in quite a while, man. It's like
I never been on Bear Their Souls. Yeah, it's my first time.
It was 100 proof back then.
That's correct.
Yeah, it was 100 proof. Yeah, right, man. We should have had you on a long time ago. You know Joe Mandel. He is the co-host of Somebody Big Just Died with Mike North, my radio uncle.
Yes.
Yeah, we got Steven Zim Zimmerman hanging out. Joe, you got some big news too.
Yeah, man. I don't even think Zim knows this yet. Expecting another baby. And
there it is. Number 3. Woo!
And it's a boy.
Congrats, man.
Congrats.
Just found out. Yeah, 2 girls and now a boy.
That's so funny. My wife was just asking me. I told her that you were going to be on the show. and she says, "Oh yeah, he's got the 2 kids now. I wonder how that's going." I said, "Well, the plan was always 3, so he says. So we'll see."
Got some news for the wifey, some hot goss.
Oh man,
awesome! Congratulations.
I tell you, we got a lot of news. You know, I want to get a couple of Joe's thoughts. I always ask this of everybody who comes on as a guest. What'd you think of that Bears season? It was one of the best Bears seasons of all time. Good, better, best. What'd you think?
Oh, yeah, man. I all season long, I told everybody, you know, I was a doubter all year. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, you know, they're not that good. They're just winning games that they have to win. And then after a certain point, you're like, maybe they are good, you know? and then they're winning playoff games, and then they stand toe to toe, and you know, they go against the Rams really well. It's like there's hope, man. It's kind of like the first Rocky movie, right? There's a glimmer of hope heading into the future.
Yeah, and what are your thoughts on, you know, like Caleb Williams becoming like a fantasy football top 10, maybe top 5 quarterback coming up?
I certainly think it's possible. I don't think he's going to be in the top 5 fantasy quarterbacks. I imagine he'll probably be just on the outside of the top 10. I'd say probably 11th or 12th on the board if I had to guess. Again, super early. I'm not getting into that just yet. But Caleb, listen, if Caleb can build off of what he did last year and cut down on some of those errant throws, but again, I know he was doing that because, you know, he was a lot of miscommunication early in the season, a little bit in the late of the season with DJ, who's now with Josh Allen and the Bills. I expect big things. Right. And this offseason's not done yet. The draft's coming up here in about a month, so could certainly have some new weapons and could also have hopefully some new offensive line and defensive players.
What'd you think of the DJ Moore trade? Good move for both teams?
Yeah, I think the Bears had to unload that salary. And let's be honest, DJ Moore goes from fantasy obscurity into becoming probably a top 20 wide receiver in fantasy football, in my opinion, if he can stay healthy. Because Josh Allen hasn't had a weapon like him ever, arguably. Well, you could argue he's Stephon Diggs in the very beginning, but I don't know. I think DJ Moore is going to have a lot of fantasy productivity, especially in PPR leagues.
Yeah, they finally got a number one wide receiver. And then the Bears had some promising young rookies last season. I mean, Colston Loveland, I think, could be like a top 5 fantasy tight end next year. What do you think?
I totally agree. I think DJ being gone now opens that door even more. Of course, you're going to see a lot of Rome Odunze, Luther Burden. Burden is, like, for me, one of the top fantasy sleepers in the next year. So he's a guy I'm targeting, especially in leagues where you get like a keeper after like the 6th, 7th, 8th round.
Yeah,
I totally see him falling and being a gem. So I like the future.
Then what do you think fantasy outlook for those 2 rookies, or actually 3 rookies last season? They were all pretty good.
I mean, Loveland's already a top 3 tight end.
Yeah,
fantasy or otherwise. I mean, there's no question about that, no matter what the Cheeseheads want to say about their guy. Colston Loveland is, I would say, a top 5 tight end off the board. I would expect him to finish top 5 as well. I agree.
You should.
I think Cole Kmet still has insane value there as well. Like, in all reality, I think Cole Kmet, like, if we're looking at this realistically, I think that Loveland's going to finish probably top 5, and Kmet could probably finish top 12. I think that's a very realistic scenario for the Bears. And that's only going to open up more things for Loveland if Kmet still contributes in that way. Continuing on with that, I mean, Monangai, I think we've seen the role that he's going to get. I think his role is his role, and he's going to have the opportunity, but he's also going to have to share the load. This is going to be a backfield by committee. It's the way Ben Johnson runs his teams. Detroit is still trying to mimic it without him. They went and got a hell of a weapon with Isaiah Pacheco to match up with Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if both those guys stay healthy, that's a real good backfield. But I think the Bears have one that envies it for sure. And I don't think that prohibits them from drafting another running back as well. I think there is a real opportunity for them, especially in that 2nd round, to go out and get another weapon to add to that room to create more flexibility and to create more mismatches. And then Luther Burden, I mean, I've already gushed praise over and over and over again about him on this show. I think he's a potential top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. I think this guy easily next season will end up as the Bears wide receiver 1 by mid-season, if not even sooner. I mean, we're talking potentially week 5 or 6. This guy could emerge. I really genuinely think that he is the future of this team, and they have a 1A and 1B with him and Rome Odunze. And I think that Luther and Caleb started really building some chemistry in the latter half of last year. And I don't think there's any denying that. And I don't think that you let DJ Moore go if you're not feeling that way about it as a coach. Fantasy-wise, I am uber enthusiastic about all 3 of these guys as much as you can be. Monangai, probably a weekly flex kind of player. Colston Loveland, a set and forget starter. And Luther Burden, for this season, you're probably playing the matchups. But by the second half of the season, as Joe said, he could be a sleeper guy. He could be a guy that ends up winning you a playoff round. Yes. If he truly becomes what I believe he will be.
I love that, Jim.
Recently there was some theorizing going around on the interwebs. The Swift A-Chain trade.
Is
Harrison
that Devin
Graham,
A-Chain or Trevor A-Chain?
Or Travis.
Travis
A-Chain.
Devon A-Chain and DeAndre Swift. Dolphins are unloading players. They traded Jalen Waddle to the Broncos. Would you guys do this move if it were to come available? Bears would get Devon A-Chain and Dolphins would receive DeAndre Swift and a Bears 2nd round pick. What do you guys think?
I would do it.
I probably would do it also.
I would do it mainly because this guy's got some wheels and Swift, I think.
And then you still have Monangai on a rookie contract.
Yeah.
To me, it feels like
Chan would be on a rookie contract too. Sorry, Zim.
It feels to me like making a move just for the sake of making a move. And that's not to say that it's not a good move. It's just not a necessary one. Now, Miami has reported, it's been reported that Miami has fielded calls and has let teams know that he is not available. We don't know what that really means, but that's just what's being reported right now. In addition to that, it's almost been exactly 1 year since we started seeing all the trades floated out there that said trade DeAndre Swift and Cole Kmet and a 3rd-round pick for Devin Achane. And it's like, we're just going to try to trade for Devin Achane in the fan base once a year, I guess. And I don't know. I don't see Achane as a top back. I see him as a top fantasy back. I don't see him as a top back in the league. There's a big difference there.
All right.
Kind of like Alvin Kamara for a long time. Like Kamara put up loads of points, loads of yards. He was never really the reason that the Saints won. And I think that's proven by the fact that they were hot garbage for most of his career.
I think the theory behind the trade is that, DeAndre Swift is in the last year of a 3 year, $24 million contract. And
right.
Achane's on a rookie contract. Kyle Monanga's on a rookie contract. Colson Loveland, Luther Burden, and Caleb Williams are all on rookie contracts.
Yeah, is Achane not going into the last year of his rookie contract?
I don't think so. I mean, he's got a year or two left. I think he's got 1 year after this one, after 26.
As of March 2026, he is in the final year of his deal. So you
got him for 1 year, basically.
You've got him for 1 year, which you've also got Swift for 1 year. He's got a $5.7 million base salary, so you're really only freeing up
$3 million,
$2 million,
$2 million,
if that.
Depending on roster bonus.
As far as cap space goes, you have the cap space to do it and everything. It makes sense financially.
Do they though?
But it's also kind of pointless.
Albert Breer says we only got 213.
They're broke.
They'll make a move.
Someone's got to get restructured, man. Imagine the Bears would do some restructuring. Maybe Joe Tooney, Cole Kmet.
Well, also keep in mind they'd be getting 3 years younger. Achane's only 24.
That is true.
Yep.
I'm not saying. Like I say, I'm not saying it's a bad move. I'm just saying that it feels like an unnecessary one. Yep. I think this team is perfectly capable. I mean, they proved they're perfectly capable of running their system and winning games with DeAndre Swift back there. And he improved drastically as the season continued.
The Vikings made a move this week, signing Kyler Murray. 1 year, $1.3 million. Of course, the Cardinals will pay $35.5 million of his guaranteed salary. Doesn't look as big as he usually does on the field, Joe, but he grew up a Vikings fan. Any thoughts on Kyler? What about his fantasy outlook too?
I mean, I think his fantasy outlook's probably better than his actual season outlook. People crap on Kyler Murray, but let's be honest, he's going to use his legs. He's had some pretty good seasons with the Cardinals. So I think it's a massive upgrade over JJ McCarthy. So
wow,
that's one
I
thing.
think a jar of mayonnaise is a massive upgrade over JJ McCarthy.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't let Jordan Silvera hear you.
I saw a picture of him on. Obviously, it's a Photoshop picture, but a picture of Kyler Murray and Peter Dinklage together, and Peter Dinklage was like 3 feet taller than him. It's pretty good.
Now, isn't Kyler coming off an injury?
Yes.
Or was he?
Yes.
He came back from injury halfway through last season.
Yeah, he had a Lisfranc injury, which is very painful, and some blood circulation, blood flow issues in it as well. They decided to shut him down, but he had some.
Oh, right. It was right around when Call of Duty came out. That's right.
I was just about to go there too. Yeah.
It was weird because everybody makes the joke, and it was literally the week before the game came out.
Can Kevin O'Connell unlock Kyler Murray?
I think he can. I hate to say that out loud. I hope I'm wrong, but not that they're going to be a great team, but I think it definitely helps Jettas a lot.
The Vikings have 2 very good receivers for him to throw to.
Yes.
And that's about it. Like, they have not a great offensive line in front of him. They've got TJ Hawkinson at tight end, but he's starting to get injury prone now as he gets up there in age. They don't really have a backfield right now. Their defense is in shambles. Their salary cap is in a situation where they can't really go out and get anybody else. And, oh, by the way, they fired their GM at the combine. I mean,
yeah,
that whole organization is a dumpster fire right now. And to say that you're turning to Kyler Murray in this situation, like, that is not very confidence inspiring to me. It wasn't confidence inspiring when the Cardinals turned to him with their franchise in a dumpster fire with the number 1 overall pick. So I just, to me, it's not a bad move, I guess. Cause I mean, JJ McCarthy appears for all intents and purposes to be a bust, but time will tell with all of it. I genuinely think Murray will start the season. He'll get hurt. No. McCarthy will get a chance again. We'll find some kind of resurgence there. I mean, the storyline for the Vikings this year already feels like it's predetermined. I feel like we could all write down our summary of the Vikings season today, go back and reflect on it a year from now and be like, damn, we were pretty close.
Yeah.
That'd be something.
They're a lot more predictable than, say, the Bears or the Packers right now. I'd say that. They're probably the most predictable team in the division, if we're being honest.
Forgot to make a Justin Fields graphic, but I forgot. And the Kyler Murray thing was cracking me up, the graphic. So I was like, I forgot about. But Justin Fields goes to Kansas City, where he'll sit. Zim, do you know if Mahomes will be ready for the start of the season?
Mahomes got injured.
I'd be stunned.
Right.
Yeah. I would guess he's probably ready by October, maybe at the soonest. But we've seen that Mahomes takes his injury rehabilitation pretty seriously. He's not one who's going to rush himself back. You know, he's a $500 million man. He's not going to risk all of that along with the franchise's future because he truly does care and believe in the Kansas City Chiefs. So he's not going to risk all of that. Similarly to how Peyton Manning took a season off, you know, honestly in his prime. We all thought it was at the end of his career, but it was genuinely in his prime. It feels like I wouldn't be surprised to see Pat Mahomes do something like that. If the Chiefs are kind of in playoff contention, he comes back and tries to get them there. And if they're not, he just shuts himself down for the whole season. I don't know that for sure, but that would be a guess. Again, the injury came in December. Excuse me. You're looking at an 8 to 12 month recovery time on that. So best case scenario, he's ready at the start of the season, which I find it hard to believe he's just ready to go with no off season and just plays. It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest with you, but no, I firmly believe that Justin Fields will be their starter, similarly to what happened in Pittsburgh. He'll be their starter for the first chunk of the season. I might try to drive down and see him play a Chiefs game, honestly.
There you go, man. I agree.
Well, I mean, he's finally going to get some good coaching. His last 3 stops weren't the best for bringing quarterbacks along. Danikin is here. Danikin, say hi to Joe Mandel.
What's going on? How you doing?
Good. How you doing, man?
Good. Sorry I'm late, guys, man. I was running a little bit late from work today.
Talk a little Justin Fields to the Chiefs.
Okay.
Yeah, your thoughts.
Oh man, it's a good move for him. It's definitely a good move for him.
Really is.
The greatest thing that I liked about it is that evidently, I guess Green Bay was trying to get him as well, from what I understand, and they had a better offer on the table supposedly, and he turned it down. So it's still FGB.
All right.
Heck yeah.
I like that. I mean, they would have loved to have had like Justin Fields run for like a 60-yard touchdown against us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Thank goodness that ain't happening.
I mean, think about the way they ran the system with Malik Willis last year. You know, it's that, but better.
Yeah. It's a good move for Justin Fields, though. I mean, he'll be able to learn under the tutelage of Andy Reid. You know, we saw what he was able to do with Michael Vick's career and things like that. Not saying that he will supplant Pat Mahomes or anything like that, but it's an opportunity for him to really learn the game of football, which is what he's behind at right now because he's been stunted in his growth and development in the league.
And Matt Nagy isn't there. Was it Matt Nagy there at the beginning of Justin Fields' career, right?
Matt
Nagy, it was safe for him to sign there. No,
exactly.
No Nagy. We also talked about Kyler Murray to the Vikings. Danikin, can Kevin O'Connell unlock Kyler Murray?
I mean, I don't think so. I think Kyler Murray is limited in some of his abilities. Not just his stature, of course. You know, that is one of the things, but but he's limited in what he can do in a football. And there we go.
I had fun putting that one together, Danikin.
That's great. I love it. I like the one I seen somebody posted. I retweeted it the other day. It was Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage was like towering over.
Yes,
classic.
It was hilarious. So the guy is limited in what he can do, and I think what we see from Kyler is what he is, at this point in time. So, he's never really moved me in that way. Maybe Kevin O'Connell can do it. We never know. He's supposedly the quarterback whisperer, but if you were so great at it, what happened with JJ McCarthy is my question. So,
who wins that job?
I mean, I would say Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray probably gets it to start.
Max Brosmer,
Max.
Well, I'll tell you, lots of free agent moves, man. I love what Ryan Poles has done so far. Want to get your guys' thoughts on one after just after you've digested a week of Bears free agency moves. How are we feeling about it? And if you think what maybe is now their greatest need in the draft. I'll go with Joe first. We'd go around.
Oh man,
you like the moves?
I like the moves I've seen so far for sure. Man, their biggest need. It's all over the place, man. My first thought went to center because they're still, not that they have a bad center. It's just, I just think he's unproven and certainly could be a starter if he has to be. But I feel like that's something they're going to look at in the draft.
Zim?
Yeah, I think offensive line still. Weirdly enough, like maybe their best position last year, but with the retirement and the injury, it's their greatest position in need. They've done a good job addressing DT, even though we all thought that was going to be a big need. Honestly, safety, you can make a big argument for safety. They still really only have one true starter there. A lot of people are speculating that maybe Kyler Gordon transitions to safety. Or as I suggested, Elijah Hicks slots in as the second safety right now with his versatility. Or maybe you try to convert Ruben Hippolyte. I think that's a genuine option that a lot of us talked about last year when he was drafted, and we've all kind of ignored ever since. I think that's a legitimate option, but he would be more of an in-the-box strong safety and not really the hybrid type safety that Dennis Allen prefers. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just go BPA, best player available, because that's how you build great teams. I know a lot of Bears fans are frustrated with the way that free agency's played out, but I think that Ben Johnson is trying to build something and not trying to just patch roster holes.
Mm-hmm.
I love the moves. Danikin, what are you thinking after you digested it for a week?
Man, after digesting it for a week, I'm very pleased with what was done. I don't think he broke the bank in any way, shape, or form. I don't think he locked us into any deals that were gonna bite us, 2 or 3 years down the road. I think he was able to get some talented guys, some guys that have some potential as well. And it also, free agency, man, a lot of times you spend money, and it never really works. It doesn't work out the way it's supposed to every time. You know what I mean? Look at when we got Jared Allen. You know what I mean? Like things like that. They were, he's a good player, but he was kind of washed up. He was past his prime. You know what I mean? Things like that. So that's what guys are out there right now. There are guys who are either past their prime, often injured, or long in the tooth, man. And you don't want to waste your money on that. You don't want to buy guys. You don't want to buy guys and they just sit on the roster and collect a paycheck, a la Jimmy Graham. You know what I mean? Remember that situation?
Yeah.
Yep. I love Jimmy Graham, love what he did early in his career, but with the Bears, that was not a great signing at all. No. You know what I mean? We're stuck with him for a little while. So the Bears didn't do that. They didn't lock themselves in any. Yeah, exactly.
It was a charity contract for a retiring player.
It was his homeboy. It was Pace's guy.
Saints,
from the Saints.
So, can you give me one last contract?
Give
buddy?
me one last deal, man. And when you have stuff like that happening, you just don't want to have it. But one thing that stuck out to me with this free agency thing, and you get to thinking about it, it's like, okay, everybody wanted the Bears to get an edge rusher, and there were hoopla and everything about Trey Hendrickson and, trade for Max Crosby and this, that, and the third. And you get to thinking about it, and my co-host, Ill Will, from Three Kings of the Midway, he mentioned
my guy.
And he was like, Austin Booker played 6 games and had 6 sacks, right?
Yep.
5 games and played 6 sacks or whatever it was. If he plays the whole season, he gets 10 plus sacks. Think about that.
We're all talking about Pro Bowl.
He had a couple taken away. Yeah, he had a couple sacks taken away in those 6 games too. So, he could have had 8 sacks in 6 games. So he was disruptive. You see potential there. He's 23 years old. And I'm like, I guess it's a situation where it's like, hey, man, maybe we have a little bit of something right there. Let him develop a little bit and see what happens. So that's one thing that I took away from it, is that maybe they're not as desperate for pass rusher because
they're higher on their ends
Austin
than we
Booker.
Are. They're higher on their who we got than we are. And I'll tell you, you have to commend polls on the Max Crosby, Trey Hendrickson, Jalen Phillips, all these guys. Mm-hmm. He made the right, extremely hard call. Yeah. The right call not to move 2 first-round picks in order to acquire Max Crosby. And with our cap situation, it was going to hamstring us for a year or two. Mm-hmm. He targeted younger, faster players. We got younger and faster in the back 7, and you could argue in the front 4 with all the defensive tackles he made. But great drafting is how teams survive in the long run. We got Fitz here. Fitz, we were talking. Say hi to Joe Mandel, our guest. He's a huge Sox fan. He's here to hear about all. He's here to hear about all the great food that's coming up at Sox Park. Man, I was salivating. I ate so I wouldn't get too hungry during the show. So I had a snack.
Thought Fitz would have the itis right now.
Oh, I took a nap when I got home. I took a nice nap.
I bet.
You have a video for us? You might have to send it to me so I can play it here.
I sent it to Aldo.
Did you send it to Aldo? Did he load it? Let me see if he loaded it. Nope, not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. Yeah, send it to me and I'll load it up.
Okay, I will do that.
All right. And then we were talking a little free agency. I had to flash my my Kyler Murray graphic. Fitz, do you like it?
Oh my God.
Hilarious.
Those are too much, man.
I know.
Attaboy.
All the sightings at airports and, standing next to Justin Jefferson.
While we're waiting to load Fitz's video, the Bears, Tremaine Edmonds was released. Kevin Byard signed with the Patriots, and Jaquan Brisker signed with the Giants, I think. Mm-hmm. Is it the Giants, Zim?
No. He signed with Pittsburgh. Jaquan Brisker.
The Steelers, right. Jaquan signed with the Steelers.
Sorry.
Right. So with those 3 players gone, are the Bears lacking leadership? I know Byard and Edmonds were captains over the past couple of years. What do you guys think? Who's going to fill the leadership role on the Bears? Anybody?
Devin Bush.
Yeah, I agree. One of them, yep. What do you think, Zim?
Well, so last year, one of my issues with the leaders, with the captains, was that it was the 5 oldest guys on the team plus Caleb Williams. So I don't know who's going to step up, but I really hope it's not just the 5 oldest guys on the team again. That's what I can say for sure.
Right.
That one felt a little bit like a directionless team. And with Ben being there, I think some guys have probably stepped up. I wouldn't be surprised to see Devin Bush as one of them. I think Jalen Johnson had a real chance to be that guy, but he was hurt for so much of the year that it probably won't be. I do think that when captains get announced this year, there will be one surprise captain. I don't know who it'll necessarily be, but I think it'll be some guy that none of us were like Dio Odangbo or somebody like that. You know what I mean? Like somebody that nobody would expect to be the captain.
He's motivated.
He's so motivated, man. And that motivation might lead to that C patch on his chest. Yeah. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like TJ Edwards, I could totally see TJ Edwards emerging as a captain for this team.
Danikin, what do you think?
As far as captains on this team, it remains to be seen. I'm sure Montez Sweat will probably get a captain badge on the defensive side of the ball. I'm not sure who else. On the offensive side of the ball, of course, Caleb Williams. And you'll probably have somebody from special teams that get a captain badge. But I would probably say Montez Sweat gets the captain badge. I mean, he's the best player on defense, possibly. Unless somebody comes in there and just, sets the world on fire and kind of takes leadership, real leadership, then I'd probably say Montez Sweat.
All right. Jack Sanborn back with the Bears. I'm still trying to load this video. Fitz,
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Fan favorite, right? Jack Sanborn.
Over.
It's kind of a weird move. They got rid of him last year because they wanted to get faster, and then they go draft Ruben Hippolyte, who I was mentioning earlier. And now all of a sudden they want him back. And it's like, it's kind of interesting. I wonder why. Is TJ Edwards more hurt than we thought he was? Is Hippolyte going to be changing positions? Is there something else that we don't know that's happening? Are they really cool with this guy just being their fourth linebacker and basically not needing Ruben Hippolyte in the linebacker room, which would be interesting only 1 year after drafting him? I don't know. It's super interesting for all of the different rabbit holes that it takes you down as far as thinking about roster construction.
Mm-hmm. I think with Jack Sanborn, he is a backup player, right? But he is a really good backup player. He's a decent guy that can come in there. He will not make very many mistakes. He'll be around the ball some. He'll give max effort. That's the kind of guys that you want. So it's a depth piece, in my opinion. I don't think they're looking at him as any type of starter. Maybe he starts a couple games and somebody gets hurt or something like that. But for the most part, he's going to be a special teams player. He's going to be a depth piece that you can slide in there and not worry about him making mistakes that will cost you the game. Let's put it that way, right? Will he make plays to win the game? Probably not, but he's not going to lose you a game because he's in there. So it's a nice piece to have. He's familiar with the city. He's familiar with the team. There's several guys that, he's played with several years in Chicago. So I think it's a good move. I don't see anything bad with it. I think the fans like him. He's a fan favorite, so that's a good thing. I think it's a good signing. Something that you need. You need depth, man. You need. There are going to be guys that get injured. You know what I mean? We played a game without linebackers one time last year, I think. So you gotta have some depth, and he's a nice free agent pickup. Doesn't cost much. And he'll add value to the team. Let's put it that way.
Yep, leader. He did play a lot of special teams, and Poles did increase the depth. He signed another defensive tackle. So I'd peg defensive tackle as the Bears' biggest need. He picks up James Lynch, defensive tackle. He was on the Titans. He was drafted by the Vikings, I think. Played at Baylor, where he had 13 and a half sacks in 1 year. He was like the Big 12 defensive player of the year. This is in 2020. I mean, the guy broke Baylor's all-time sack record for a career in college at 23 sacks for a career. He's one of these faster, lighter defensive tackles that Dennis Allen likes to use. So now he's got Kentavious Street and Neville Gallimore. He's signed. Andrew Billings, he signs with where did he go?
Tennessee, right?
Arizona. He's at the Cardinals.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he went to Arizona. Big Cuz went to Arizona. So he's increased the defensive line depth. Which I find that interesting. Maybe he and his scouts aren't as enamored with the defensive tackles in this draft. I like a couple. We'll have to see. We'll talk about it another time. Let's talk a little ballpark food. Why don't you set it up for us, Fitz? Where did you went to? It was like a convention or food show, an expo.
No, every year they've been doing about 6 years now. White Sox they invite the media to check out all their new food options for the upcoming season, and they have a reputation of really doing the food well, and they really do the food well at the Rays. So it's a fun event. You just go and you hang out, you snack on some food, and it was at the Rate Field. It's in the Topo Chico Cantina section. I guess that's also where they're going to have CHSN might have their studios.
Oh wow!
Yeah, the White Sox games up there. So
nice.
Yeah, it's a fun time. So there's
Joe Mandel and Steven Zimmerman are two of the biggest White Sox fans I know. I'm sure they're gonna enjoy this. So let's roll it.
Oh yeah,
Danikin will like it too.
There we go. I have so many questions.
The return of the campfire milkshake. It's time it's bigger.
I'm going to let Joe ask the first questions. I have a ton of questions, though.
Okay.
But I'll let our guest ask the first questions here for the new White Sox food.
That Tonkatsu dog or whatever it was. What? Tell me a little bit about that because it looked amazing.
That was one.
Yes. So Vienna beef hot dog, panko, the Kewpie. How do you pronounce it?
Kewpie sauce.
Kewpie mayo, teriyaki sauce, and bonito flakes. It was delicious. It's not the cornmeal that you might be used to with corn dogs, but it's just a light, crispy outer texture, and it's a Vienna beef hot dog. It just everything just merged so well with that.
But it's like a corn dog, right?
Yeah, it's a corn dog. It's like
elevated.
Elevated.
But the batter is different than your traditional corn dog. So
it seems like it'd be much lighter.
It is. Yeah, it's like there's layers to it. You have the outside crust, and then you have the hot dog, and it's not just like one big, kind of just mushy.
I love katsu.
When
I traveled in Asia, I would get like a katsu lunchbox. Tonkatsu, rice and the fritter with katsu sauce. Oh, so good.
Shingo Takatsu.
Yeah. Shingo.
Yeah, that was definitely a favorite.
Yeah.
So.
No, what was the other guy's name? That Tadahito
Aguchi.
Tadahito Aguchi. Yeah, who can forget the Japanese players that do we have a Japanese player this year?
Munetaka Murakami.
Yeah,
Murakami. Some jerseys there. They had some pretty cool jerseys.
So excited for that guy. He's gonna be a hitter, man. He's gonna be like the Japanese Kyle Schwarber.
Nice.
And the White Sox in his first appearance in the clubhouse spelled his name wrong on his locker. It was awesome.
And any chance Rock Chalowski makes it to the big leagues this year?
He's still in college.
No, he hasn't even been drafted yet.
Oh, okay. I thought we drafted him. That's June, right?
He's already moved forward. See that's
I'm already like he's on the Sox already, bro.
Right?
He's on the Sox for me.
He already hurt. Really matter because you guys.
Is he hurt too?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, he's already hurt. Yeah,
I mean, he's got to have a hamstring pull in there somewhere.
This was just White Sox food, right?
Yes.
Today.
Because Levy had posted something for Cubs food too. They have the Cubs new dog, which I don't think looks good at all, man.
Wow.
Doesn't that look awful? It's like,
It really does.
a little Korean taco.
But it's a Cubs game. By the time you eat it, you'll be so fucked up you don't care.
It's like a kimchi.
Tell you what,
like
it'll be good.
Bonito bun.
Tooch, I can tell you where I saw that exact thing before. I saw it in my toilet when I was done.
Well, here's the thing. Like
the taco tower.
The White Sox know, like, they've got to have something to get people to the park. And
They
their
have
food
to.
is
It
so
looks
damn
fantastic.
good.
Oh,
Whereas
man,
the Cubs know. Like, I have a feeling that the Cubs chefs all just sit in a room together and, like, pass around a bottle of Malort. And then they're like, all right, guys, what are we eating today? And, like, that's how they come up with the food menu items. Because we all know Wrigley is more about the atmosphere than the game, right? Like, you don't go to Wrigley and watch it. Harry Carey is was living proof that you don't watch the Cubs when you're at the game. You do damn near anything else. You're just there to party and have a good time at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
We've gone entirely too far.
Reach up there and
Entirely
grab
too far.
Second.
My point being that the reason the White Sox have to do this in the park is to get butts in seats. And man, it does a good job, because you said they've been doing this for what, 5-6 years now. I mean, I know Joe's been to one or two of them.
I was at one 2 years ago.
Yeah. Vinny had been to one, at least one or two, if I remember correctly. Excuse me. He was our third host on South Burbs Hitmen back when that show was a thing. Can't imagine why nobody listened to a podcast about the White Sox though.
No South Burbs this year.
I don't believe so.
No, sir.
Towards the end of the year, the White Sox kind of they were fun. Like Chase
I hope that they prove us wrong. And with the kids and everything, I was going to say, I told Vinny if he wants to run it, he certainly can. But he's also a busy man these days.
Yes, that's part of the reason why it got dissolved in the first place. It wasn't for a lack of love for the White Sox. Yep. It was for myself and Joe, juggling the family life. I got a new job that really strained my ability to do these things, and Vinny is advancing his sports media career in like a really positive way, and he wanted to focus more on hockey and football because those are his two more serious passions. Those are what's putting money in his pocket, let's be honest here. Yeah. So
and he's a married man now too,
and yes, he spent a lot of time focusing on his personal life, getting married as well. So yeah, and he bought a house as well. I mean, he's had a huge last year. So I was taking a break from the podcast. It was nothing that we didn't want to do. It was more so just that life happens, man. At any rate, back to all this though. Fitz, one of the things I noticed with all these food items that they were putting out there this year is they all seem very light. Like it seemed like it was something that you could eat like this and that. Like you didn't kind of have to make a lot of times when you go to the stadium, a lot of the foods look really heavy and you kind of just have to decide what you're going to eat. And then you'll have to come to another game if you want to try it. Whereas
White Sox fans. White Sox fans are going to eat it. They're going to eat
before the game, during the game,
before the game, during the game, after the game. You're absolutely right.
I mean, they have to, because we're talking about watching the game, the actual game. Once the White Sox,
and the product on the field makes you puke at least once. So.
Maybe they won't want to eat if the product is bad.
Although, Fitz, I will say I saw one thing on your Twitter feed that did not look light, and that is the Southside Supreme.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we were not allowed. We were not given.
Couldn't
samples
taste
of
it.
That. No.
What was it? Godfather's Pizza?
No, it's Beggars.
Beggars Pizza.
Beggars is good, man. I love it.
Yeah, Beggars Pizza is fantastic.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
But my point being with it, that usually by the time Joe and Vinny were done with it and we'd do our show, they were just like so like heavy and weighed down. Like it was like a chore to get through the whole tasting. Whereas it seemed like you were doing pretty okay towards the end of it.
Yeah, I only missed one thing. There was a dessert that I didn't get to. But yeah, that was everything that they had available to taste. They didn't have samples of the milkshake this time, so I saw somebody in the comments.
That's the campfire milkshake.
Yeah, so
it's supposed to be for 2 people.
Yeah, it's huge.
But come on, you could put one down yourself, though, right?
I'm sure. Yeah,
like, on a hot summer day. Hell yeah.
Well, what I saw is it's for 2 people, or so you hate yourself twice as much when you're done.
Right. So, but yeah, it's nice, big. It looks like a pitcher of beer kind of a thing going on there.
2.0, right?
Milkshake.
But did you have the original version at the ballpark ever?
Yeah, when they came out the first year, I had that. Yeah,
okay. Nice.
Did they discuss what the differences are between this and the old version and the new version?
Just the size.
Okay. What does it taste? The flavors, what, s'mores?
Yeah, it's a chocolatey. It's a sweet chocolate.
Liquor.
I don't think I don't know if there's a liquor option.
There's no liquor in it. Oh, okay.
No.
Very good. Let's see. I'm adding to the ideas already here. There's I saw some signs that said DB Kaplan's there.
Oh,
is that a sandwich shop in the ballpark?
That's a location in the 300 level.
Okay, because I don't know if any of you will remember, but when I was a little kid, man, I was like 7, maybe 8, 9 years old. I used to love going to DB Kaplan's and Water Tower places. Anybody remember DB Kaplan's?
No.
Oh man, it was so good. They had a menu that would fold out, and it was like there were hundreds of sandwiches you could order, just all different. I forget. It's one of those. It
was in Water Tower.
I think it was Lettuce Entertain You. It was like one of his first restaurants. The guy who did the DB Kaplan's. Yeah, it was in Water Tower Place. It was like I think it was on the 7th floor, 10th floor, somewhere around there. But my mom and dad would take me. We went downtown. We went to Water Tower Place. They would take me there, and I would always order. Look at all these different sandwiches. So the menu folded out, man. I had like hundreds. I wonder if anybody in the chat room remembers DB Caps. I'm sure Aldo does. If Aldo was here, but so it definitely named after the old place in Water Tower. And I saw they had some really cool sandwiches on. Somebody else posted a video from the show. There were little samples of subs.
Yeah, I had the Italian scallion.
Yes, that's the one.
I was going to ask about that.
That looks good.
Yeah, and like a ciabatta bread. It was really good. Oh, very tasty. Yeah,
I definitely would get that.
So
what kind of meat was on? It was just
prosciutto
an Italian sandwich.
It's like an Italian sandwich with the pepperoni and let me get the
salami, ham.
Yeah,
prosciutto, no prosciutto.
Maybe some mortadella. I don't know.
Prosciutto's so expensive.
Yeah, dry cured pepperoni, prosciutto, ham, seasoned lettuce, tomato, Dusseldorf mustard, scallion on focaccia bread.
Nice.
And that
sounds
will be
fantastic.
That's in the Stadium Club and at the DB Kaplan's on 300 level. So that's the one thing. The unfortunate thing is like not everything is available to everyone. But there were. One year they had pierogies and they were on the 300 level. We're like, you got to be kidding, But maybe it was.
I remember that year.
Maybe they couldn't have enough because if they were on like the 100s and the two, where the regular folks are sitting, those things would be gone, before first pitch. But yeah, a lot of the things I tried today are on the 100 level.
What was that machete thing?
It's a quesadilla, right? Quesadilla,
yeah. It's delicious.
Wow. That might have been huge. My favorite sounding item that you posted.
Yeah,
chicken chorizo.
Cool name too.
Yeah, it's a chicken chorizo, queso Oaxaca, and orange salsa. And there's also a vegetarian option for that one, which I didn't try. So
nice.
There's a chicken.
Is that everywhere, or is that just upstairs?
That is in 111.
There's a chicken and waffles too. I thought I saw.
Yep, chicken and waffles was delicious.
The Cubs have a chicken and churros. They had to copy the socks.
That's
terrible.
That also looks like something I find in my toilet.
Everybody would eat it though. You guys would all eat it.
I would eat
the
the shit out of that for sure.
And then the world
wings.
champion. Wings look fantastic.
Oh, the wings, yeah.
Yeah, the garlic parm wings. Oh my gosh, those were I
love lemon pepper. They had some great flavors I saw online too.
Yeah, and we had the lemon pepper and the garlic parm were the ones that were
lemon pepper is one of my favorite too.
So those are all bone in, right?
Yeah.
My question, Fitz, a question for you. Of everything that you tasted today, what would you suggest? What would be the number one option if you were going tomorrow and you said, you know what, I got to get something? Which one would you get? What would you get?
The garlic parm fries with fries. The garlic parm wings with fries. Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. Next would be the corn dogs, the Korean corn dogs.
Okay.
You heard it here. The food at the world champion Dodgers stadium's a little bit different. They have a Loco Moco Bowl. You guys ever been to Hawaii? You know what a Loco Moco is?
I have.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There will be a Puerto Rican rice bowl that was not on display.
Nice. Yeah, rice bowls are hot, Fitz.
Yeah.
These days.
Literally.
Cochinita pibil, which is my favorite taco, pickled onions at this is at Dodger Stadium.
The blue corn tortillas.
Oh, fantastic. That looks great. Char siu pork fries.
Oh my gosh.
That looks delicious as well, man. Yeah. Dodger Stadium looks like they got some pretty good food too, man. I've never been to Dodger Stadium, but anybody been to Dodger Stadium?
You know, I had plenty of chances and have not.
One of those plates is $75 though, I could promise.
I was gonna say, yeah.
White Sox outlook this season, Joe. How many games are they winning over and under? I think it ain't much.
Ooh.
It's like 69.5 games, I think.
I'm taking the over.
I would take the over too.
This team in the spring has looked good.
Yeah.
They're beating some really good teams. I think they're undefeated against the Cubs.
67.5.
And I'm gonna go with.
You guys take solace in this, right? When all of the major stars of the MLB are off playing in the WBC championship or WBC tournament, right? And so, you guys, somebody has to do well, right? It's like in school, right? Like when you're in school and you see the two teams and they're both terrible and somebody kind of dominates the situation. Yeah.
The White Sox
in preseason, you know.
I didn't realize the Cubs. I didn't realize the Cubs had a lot of players in the World Baseball Classic. Outside of the one that got injured, which is
we had a few and won too.
That's right. Look, when I was a kid, the Cubs were the only ones on TV. It wasn't until later that the White Sox came on. I think in 1980.
That's when Frank Thomas came around.
And the Cubs were on WGN, so they were they could come home after school and watch a Cubs game. And for me, it was the time of like Ivan DeJesus played shortstop and Bill Matlock and Manny Trio, Jerry Morales, all the Cubs players. I grew up kind of a Cubs fan. And then, my uncle worked nights at the ballpark. He was a cop. He worked security. So I would go to Comiskey Park. They lived, my aunt and uncle lived right across the ballpark down in Bridgeport. And he used to let me into the game. And then afterwards, he'd let me in right outside where the players came out from the locker room. So
I know exactly where that is.
I used to get all their autographs at Comiskey Park, man. So I always loved both teams. I mean, I never understood the divide, but hey, I mean, like I live in Des Moines now. We got AAA Iowa Cubs here, so I can go to Principal Park and watch. Pete Crow Armstrong was here last. Sure. I don't know, first time I started when, I think 2 years ago he was at AAA.
Tooch, I play with all the chirping, man. I have family that works at both ballparks. I worked at both ballparks going through college. So I've got no ill will. I like when the Cubs win as long as it's not against the Sox. So all good. Going back to your question about how many wins, I got the White Sox penciled at 80. I'm going to take 80.
Ooh, wow. 80 is wow.
That's a lot.
Wow.
I hope they do.
Listen.
Fitz, you like both
I'm
teams,
feeling optimistic after watching spring, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Fitz, you like both teams, though, right?
I'm not a hater of the Cubs.
Yeah, me either.
The Sox are my first love, but I'm not a hater of the Cubs. Only when they play each other.
I've been actually following the Cubs a little bit more because of the Iowa. If I can watch these players go from here up to the big leagues. Right. So it's been kind of fun. I'm like out there now. The first time when I came down here, my company has a company outing at Principal Park every summer in June. So we go and eat all the food. And it's terrible food there.
Well, it's a minor league stadium, of course.
It's terrible. But I saw my coworker's like, "Is Pete Crow opportunity to be a star?" And he was like 0 for 4 that day, and he dropped a ball in the outfield. I was like, "This guy sucks, man." I don't remember. I was just like, "I don't know about this."
That's just the PC AAA experience, man. One day he looks like a superstar, and the next day you're like, "What?" He's perfect in Chicago. He's just like Rex Grossman, but a center fielder.
I love PCA, man. He's been great.
PCA can play, man.
Yeah,
the Cubs will be pretty decent this year. I think the Sox will be much better than what they were last year. 80 games is
optimistic.
High.
I realize that it's slightly preposterous, but you know what? I like it.
I don't think so at all. 500. Can the Sox be a 500 team?
Yes, they can.
Quite possibly. They were for the latter half of last year.
You take 20 away. I think they're about 60 games. 60.
That's like a 30-game improvement.
That's a lot. It looked like a 30-game improvement in spring. I know it's spring, but
20-game improvement. That would be.
Yeah.
I mean, genuinely though, like the way they played the second half of last year and the way they've played this spring, I don't think a 20-win improvement is insane. It's a stretch for sure, but like I think it's probably the upper limit of that.
Who's in the starting rotation this year?
Some guys.
I just wonder. I don't know. I haven't studied baseball yet. I will, but
I would genuinely have to look
at the moves, and they got to overtake the Brewers, but
I think the Cubs are going to win the division.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think
good chance.
I don't think there's a lot of competition for them in their division this year.
Here's the starting.
Cincinnati will be better though.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think.
Here's the rotation for the White Sox. They finalized it yesterday. Okay. Shane Smith is their opening day starter. Mm-hmm. Sean Burke, Davis Martin, and then Anthony Kay and Eric Fetty. Fetty's back. So
Fetty.
Eric Fetty was very good for them a couple of years ago when he was pitching there.
Those first 3 young players pitched pretty good last year.
Great young pitchers.
Yep.
Davis Martin has a career in this league. Like he will have a career. He's already been in the league for quite some time now, but regardless, I think he's got a bright future.
Agreed.
Sean Burke is another one. He's got a lively arm. He's only 26 years old, which for baseball, starting pitcher is young.
Vinny and I interviewed him on his show.
You did.
Nice. And around the horn, who's going to be in there? And Chase Meadroth is still on the team, right?
Yes. He might get supplanted though. This
he should.
What was his name? The Anatucci, something like that. The kid who's playing for Italy.
I like the sound of that name.
That guy looked so good. Hang on, I gotta look up his name.
Yeah, Colson Montgomery at short.
Right.
He's
right.
This year, man. Watch out.
If they draft Chalowski, where's he going to play? Isn't he a shortstop?
Just hold on with it. He's in college. Come on.
It's going to be 3-4 years minimum before he's playing. Like I mean 2 at best.
I don't even think
I'll go ahead and put this.
I would go with Justin LeBron at that draft pick.
I'll put this into the ether. Murakami technically is a rookie. I think he gets rookie of the year.
I think that's very probable.
And he's what, outfield?
Yeah. He's a first baseman.
First base, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got let's see. So they've got Chase Meadroth at second. Again, I think he could be supplanted by Antonacci at some point this season. Colson Montgomery, who is a budding star in this league.
He is awesome.
Miguel Vargas, who came a long way after the acquisition a couple years ago. Murakami, who, again, we just said could be penciled in for potential rookie of the year.
Vargas is at third?
Vargas is at third, correct. Austin Hayes and Andrew Benintendi, or as we call him, Benny Buttcheeks, out in the outfield.
Benny Buttcheeks, baby.
That's right.
Benintendi, in right field or left field?
Couple of stopgaps, basically. Yeah. Lenin Sosa penciled in at DH right now. So I think you actually use Kyle Teal there.
Last remaining Cuban player.
Yeah. Teal will be DH.
Right. And then Brooks Baldwin and Edgar Caro, as their catcher. Edgar Caro is a great catcher. If you guys are not familiar with his game.
Exciting to watch.
They've also got Luis Angel Acuna, who is only 24 years old and
Centerfield?
has lots of speed. So
is he in Centerfield? Right.
He's listed as an infield outfield. He's a utility guy for them. He's actually more of an infielder than an outfielder. But for some reason, he's been advertised as a center fielder, which I'm not
it's
super keen on.
Brother of Ronald Acuna.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And Getz had him advertised as a switch hitter there for a while, and he's not.
He is not.
No.
They really tried to make it a thing, but it is not a thing. They did some work to try to shore up their bullpen a little bit. But they're going to be relying on a lot of young guys. And that's why one of the big things that I've been preaching, because Fitz, we saw your video at work today. It was kind of a slow day. And after we were finished drooling over it, some of the guys there were asking me, because, I work with various different fans. We're in Omaha. So our closest team is the Royals.
Yeah.
And a lot of people root for them, but just as much, we're in no man's land. So people root for a lot of different teams.
Hey, Omaha has a AAA.
Yeah,
team.
the Omaha Storm
Royals,
Chasers.
yeah.
They're the Royals AAA team. Yeah.
I saw them play at old Rosenblatt Stadium back in the 90s.
Rosenblatt Stadium is now the parking lot for the Omaha Zoo.
Okay.
Nice.
Which is a great, fantastic zoo.
Amazing zoo.
Have you been to the King Kong, across the little restaurant, the sandwich shop? Oh, it's so good. Of
course.
It's like dogs and gyros and burgers, Fitz.
Oh yeah.
Just your
It's a regional chain.
Right up your alley.
There's a few of them. There's a handful of them around in Omaha.
But they asked me, what do you think about the Sox this year? Like, you think they're going to be any good? And I said, I don't know if they'll be good, but they'll be interesting. Like, and that's what I'm sticking to for this year. They're going to be an interesting team. They're going to be a team that's worth watching. Like, you're going to see some of these guys, and they're probably not going to stay with the Sox because the Sox are kind of a farm system for the rest of the league at this point. But you're going to see some of these guys that are going to be playing for a long time this year, I think. You're going to see guys come up. You're going to see some moves at the deadline where some of these guys go to different teams. It's going to happen for the next few years. And again, I think it's going to be interesting. I think it'll be fun to watch. I think there will be some new household names that we all learn. This season reminds me a lot of like 2-3 years ago. The Sox weren't very good, but they were so much fun to watch just because, like, you could tell those guys loved going out there every day. It wasn't a burden for them to be on the field like it kind of was in some of those years that we watched them.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing. I mean, the Sox needed a culture change, really. You know what I mean? Because they had become so lackadaisical and guys didn't really try and give forth max effort. And you look around the league and you see other teams that put guys out there and they're putting forth effort. They're playing small ball if they have to. They're winning the ways that they want, that they can. And I think the Sox have some talent now. And you have these young guys. That's what will make it exciting. I remember a couple years ago when we had, what's the kid's name? I forgot his name. But he came up from the minors and
Cubs?
Yeah,
for the Cubs. Jimenez?
No.
The Cubs.
What's his name? He played third base. And then he played.
Eloy was with the Cubs first. They traded him to the Sox.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. No, with the Cubs, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he just has so much energy, and it energized the entire team, and everybody, it's like he wasn't great, but he was so fun to watch because he just had fun playing the game. And I think that's what you guys are looking at. No.
Did the Cubs trade Owen?
He got traded. He traded him to the Marlins. They traded him to the Marlins.
Owen Casey to the Marlins?
No. The guy I'm talking about.
Oh.
What's his name?
Did they? I thought I heard the Cubs traded Owen Casey. He was supposed to be
a
star.
They did.
I watched him play last year, but I'm trying to think of who the young stars are on this team for the Iowa Cubs. The Cubs signed Alex Bregman though to replace Kyle Tucker as the slugger, but that was
a great pickup.
Nice little pickup there. I don't remember what they did to improve their pitching though. I know they signed some guys.
Christopher Morel.
Christopher Morel.
Yeah, it was a little.
He went to the rookie card.
He
went to the Devil Rays.
That he had, the enthusiasm that he had, the energy that he had, just fun baseball. That's what it is. Summertime, kids playing ball like that. That was what it energized the team, and it really made
we had him here in
that
Iowa
season fun for us to watch.
He was a home run hitter down here too. When I went to the game, he blasted one center field.
Yeah.
But he's a little guy though. He's not a big guy.
Yeah, he's slightly built.
The Cubs had a guy when I went last summer, the relief pitcher that was 6'9" or 6'8", something like that. Dude threw fire. It was a big boy. I can't remember his name though. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, we had Matt Shaw down here too. Forget who else was down here, man. A lot of Cubs.
The Jaguar, wasn't he there last year? The Jaguar.
What's his last name?
I'm drawing blanks today.
We had Miguel Amaya down here.
Yeah.
I forget who else was down here. Owen Casey, of course. I can't remember off the bat. I'll have to report back to you guys on. But did the Cubs sign a Japanese player too?
No, they just got Suzuki still,
who's hurt.
Right. No, I know they had the slugger Suzuki. I meant for their pitching staff.
They were trying to.
They were trying to sign a guy from Japan, a pitcher, I think, right?
Yeah, but they didn't. He ended up going to where do you go?
What are you guys' outlook for the Cubs this year?
I think
play some baseball.
I think they're gonna win a division. They'll win over 90 games. I think they're not gonna have that lull like they did last year. I think. And we say this every year, but I don't think Milwaukee's gonna has it, but they always do.
I know.
It doesn't matter who they throw out there.
They're great pitching staff. They never hit, and last year they hit the shit out of the ball.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who their manager is. They're kind of like the Cleveland Indians of the National League. They're just always
a good comparison.
Always competitive. Yeah. Doesn't matter who they put.
They're always there, and they play so they just you playing is like you're not afraid of them, but they win the game. They just win the game.
I'm actually going to the Sox Brewers game next Saturday.
Nice.
In Milwaukee. It's the first time I'll ever have been.
Great place to see a game in Milwaukee County Stadium, or the new County Stadium.
I was at the old one.
The old one too.
It was a real dump.
Oh man, it was the best. I went to college there, so we'd go like some nights and just put $5 for a bleacher seat.
Yeah,
it was great.
Kevin Alcantara, that's the Jaguar.
Kevin Alcantara. Yeah. Yep. With the AL Central is really not like. There's a lot of teams that all could win the division, the Indians, the Twins.
I don't think the Twins could this year, but no, they're still. I don't think they've done like a complete. I don't think they're going to lose like 100 games like the Sox have, but I don't think they're
rebuilding. I mean, weren't the Indians and Twins the top two teams last year in the Central?
I mean, that's not really saying much.
No, that's why I said it. I don't see any reason why. I mean, it's kind of up for grabs.
I think the Royals will be a little bit better. I don't know if they'll challenge, but I think they should be better.
What do you think? Oh, Tigers were the top last year. I forgot.
Right.
Yeah, Skubal.
Yeah.
Tarek Skubal.
Thank you,
Kay. Who is a candidate to be traded.
True.
Right. Talk about trading Tarek Skubal, a great pitcher.
They'll get the farm for him.
Since we last met, the Bears brought back Jalen Jones too. I don't know if we had that last time. He's back. Signs from undrafted to a second stint with the Bears. So he will be back.
Good on him. They need DBs.
Depth of DB. Let's see. We don't have too much time. Joe. Congratulations, being a dad for the third time. I actually have some news too.
Wow!
I was going to say, where's your news?
I know. Too? Last weekend, my son and his now his fiance. Yeah, he proposed to his girlfriend. She said yes. He married a sister, Danikin. He's marrying a sister.
That's it. Congratulations to him.
I
man.
love her.
Congratulations.
She is an angel. She is so sweet. I just love her to death. She is. I gained a daughter. I will gain a daughter. But yeah,
congrats, Papa Tooch.
She is the best, man. Hard worker. helpful, sweet as can be, polite, funny. She loves my son to death. It's just they get along fantastic. So looking forward.
If you need a wedding officiant.
Yeah, I was thinking I'd drive out to Des Moines, have Fitz. Yeah, if I told them they could have the wedding in my backyard, I got a half acre back here.
Nice.
Could set up some tents and chairs and stuff, and
let's get some brats and dogs on the grill, and Fitz will be there.
Yeah. Take Fitz here for a tenderloin sandwich. Iowa tenderloin.
There you go.
Has Zim, you had the tenderloin yet since you've been out here?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. It's like things like this big around, and then you got this little bun.
The tiny ass bun.
Yeah, tiny ass bun, lettuce, tomato, pickle, mustard, and mayo. You ever had a tenderloin sandwich, Danikin?
I never had one. Never had one.
Good.
I've never had one either.
Oh man,
sounds like something I might have to try then.
Yeah, I think you would. Yeah. I think you guys would both get down on one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
They're massive. I mean, it's like the size of a plate. The fritter, the pork tenderloin fritter. It's like fresh, like katsu.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure why they even give you a bun, to be completely
honest. I know.
It's kind of insulting.
Yeah, it is.
Like no joke. It's like this big.
Yeah.
And then the bun itself is like this big.
It looks ridiculous.
They just give it to you and just laugh. They're like, "Have fun with that, dumbass."
It's like putting an A-cup bra on Sydney Sweeney.
That's exactly right. Great way of putting it. Yeah. Let's see. We're gonna have the draft. We got lots of shows coming up. We'll be doing some draft talk here on the network. We'll have a draft show with Aaron Current hosting. There's draft on tap
on Monday.
Yeah, a draft on tap every Monday with Aaron Current and Danny Shimon, and then we'll have some guests here on Bear Their Souls talking favorite draft picks. One thing I have to, this is a stat that came by this week that I had no idea, but it came out on social media. The Bears haven't drafted a first-round defensive player since Roquan Smith. I was like, really? I had to look that up. I was like, God damn it! No, we hit Poles first year. We didn't have a first-round pick. He drafted
from the Justin Fields trade.
Yeah, from the Justin Fields trade, and then he drafted Darnell. He drafted two DBs in the second round. They drafted Darnell Wright in the first round, and then last year Colson Loveland.
Yep.
Right.
He's done all right.
And Roma Dunze and Caleb Williams the year before last year.
Yep.
He's done all right with first rounders.
Yeah, the picks seem to be working out just fine.
Yeah, the first round has been great for Ryan Poles. And I don't want to go back and revisit the Patriots, but could someone check me on that if Roquan Smith was the last defensive player we drafted in the first round?
Sounds right. I mean,
checks out.
You heard us talking about him, Danikin?
We had so many years without first round picks that
yeah, true. We had gave away from Khalil Mack trade.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ryan Pace drafted Roquan Smith, but that was it after that.
It was Roquan Smith in 2018. They traded the next two for Khalil Mack. Then it was Justin Fields, and they traded that pick, the following year's pick, and part of that move
for Justin to move up and select Justin Fields. Right?
Darnell Wright, Caleb Williams, Roma Dunze, Colston Loveland.
Yep. So I want to ask you guys, where do you think the Bears will do in the first round? Offense, defense, trade the pick?
I heard a scenario where they do trade the pick back a little bit because what they're looking for, in that 25-30 range, they might just be able to get another fifth rounder for somebody who wants to move up. So I've heard that scenario. I think, if you go back to what Poles has said, best player available, I think they're looking defense, but if for some reason there's a great left tackle or center up there, they'll snatch it. But I think you're looking at safety and edge are the primary things that they're looking for.
Safety and pass rush.
Yeah.
Danikin?
Yeah, I'm with Fitz on this. I saw a couple of things going around on social media yesterday where guys were talking about some wide receiver from Arizona State or whatever, and
right, Jordan Tyson.
Yeah, and I just don't feel like that's the immediate need that we have. I think there's other needs that need to be fulfilled.
DJ Moore trade doesn't.
Do you want to take him in the first round? Is my question.
I know. I'm just asking. I don't know.
I don't think so. So in the first, when we were talking about the first round, of course, it's best available. If he's the best guy available, then take him. But I'm with Fitz on that. But I do believe that they're going to try to secure defensive tackle or safety in that first round.
We signed.
That's what I would be looking for.
Though.
We did, but they're not on. I guarantee you, all those guys are not going to make the team. You know what I mean? Yeah. Somebody's going to get kicked out of the door. Let's be real. So,
you got Grady,
no
you got those three new guys: Grady Jarrett, Gravon Dexter, and Shamar Turner.
Right.
Somebody ain't making it.
Yeah, somebody's not making it. But you do need depth because Grady, at his age, you know what I mean? Is he going to be healthy the entire season? You're going to need some depth there.
He did start to play a little better at the end of the season, though. I mean,
he did.
Beginning of the season, he wasn't good. He was getting washed out against the run. It's like,
oh man, he was clearly injured, man. He was limping around on the field. Like seriously,
he wasn't healthy yet. But.
I was like, man. Yeah. But yeah, I think they go. I think they go maybe safety. I would go safety. I mean, there's some safeties out there that I really like. If the guy from Penn State is there, I want him. I don't think he'll be there.
Zakeem Wheatley.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be there. But if somehow, somewhere
he's
there,
Thieneman?
I love Thieneman. That's the best one in this draft. But besides Caleb Downs, but
yeah.
I'm just saying that's within Bears' reach. But some say he was not going to get past the Vikings at 15 or 16 or wherever they're picking.
Yeah, that's fair.
Zim, what do you think? Bears focusing on defense, offense, maybe trading out of that pick?
I don't know. I didn't expect him to take a tight end last year, that's for sure. So,
yeah.
I mean, the thing is with your draft board, right? It's not just best player available. There's other things that factor into it, right? Like, yeah, you say you're going BPA, but if your options are the best safety on your board or the fourth best D tackle on your board, but you rank the D tackle higher than the safety, it's like, how do you actually make that? You now have to weigh in, like, is the best safety worth more than the fourth best D tackle, even though we think this D tackle is a better player? And like, that's something that's going to factor into a lot of this. And why, like, I don't pretend like I know, because these teams all have their different grading. They all have their different projections. And, you know, they've only got about 15 to 20 first round grades out there every year. And if they've only got 15 to 20 and they're drafting at 25, there's a very high probability all those guys are gone. In which case, I think best case scenario for them, Ty Simpson is sitting on the board at 25 and somebody gets real antsy to trade up for him. Honestly, I think that's best case scenario for the Bears. And then they can move back, get a little draft capital, and then maybe even trade back into the first round if there's somebody they really fall in love with in that 30 to 32 range, because it'll be cheaper to get back in at that point, and you can gain draft capital that way and still get your fifth-year option on a guy that you like without really having to leverage anything, if that's what it comes down to. So personally, I think I would like to see them either have a very defined answer or a trade back. And we won't know what that defined answer is until it happens. Like we saw with Loveland last year, where that was very premeditated. That was very much the guy they targeted. I mean, they wasted no time putting that pick in. And, you know, again, if that's what happens this year.
There was no hint of them even sniffing around Loveland. There was pure subterfuge.
And the guys that they are sniffing around on this year, they can get with their second round picks at this point in time. They're guys that they can target on day 2 without having to like really worry too much. I'm talking as far as weapons, offensive line. You know, it's just some of the guys they're generally connected to. Some linebackers out there like Jacob Rodriguez. You know, he's a second round guy. Sam Hecht, that's a second round guy. I'd love to see him take Thieneman personally, but like you said, I don't know if he'll even last that long, you know, and at that point you're looking at your third best safety. Is that really worth it?
Some people like that Toledo kid. He didn't test that well, man.
The Toledo kid's good, but I just don't see him as a first round pick.
Yeah, neither do I. To me, second at best. I like the LSU kid, the safety from LSU, AJ Halsey.
Mm-hmm.
That dude's a turnover machine. I want a little hard hitter in my safety. I want to see someone get blasted like a Packer or something.
The good thing is that Poles has a good track record, right?
He does.
Of making not just drafting guys that are good, but impact players. These guys have made major impacts. They won games for the Bears. The Colston Loveland, all of these guys, even
Caleb
the first
Williams.
and second rounders, in my opinion.
I was going to say, for all of the complaints that Bears fans have about Ryan Poles' draft, he has not missed on a first rounder. Period, point blank, he has not missed on a first rounder. And those are the draft picks that you have to hit on.
Yeah.
He hits when he has to, and that's what matters.
I mean, he's had some high first-round picks, too.
He drafted Caleb Williams, too.
So I'm just saying, you have to hit on those.
Yeah.
You can't miss on an eighth rounder, on an eighth pick, or a 10th pick, or a first.
I don't know. We've seen a lot of GMs do it in my lifetime, and I'm not as old as you guys. So
but I'm just saying, you're right about that. He hasn't missed, and those are the ones you have to hit on.
Right.
Yeah, but
I would take Mesidor, okay?
Mesidor versus McDonald.
McDonald is just a run stopper. I don't see much pass rush in him. I don't think he's a first-round pick. Is he a good run stopper? He's fucking immovable in the fucking middle of the Ohio State line. But the Bears need pass rush, man. I know we're terrible against the run, but the run stopper doesn't seem to fit what Dennis Allen likes. Joe, what do you think? Bears, what might they do?
I think it's safety. I think it's arguably the biggest need outside of center, and you're not going to draft a center that high. So that's what I think.
You think center's that big of a need?
I do.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, Bradbury, not terrible, but certainly not great.
And only on a 1-year deal.
He's only on a 1-year deal, but if he plays good, I could see him playing into a second contract. Couldn't you, Danikin? Bradbury?
He could.
I think he's
I don't think it's going to happen either. But
I think he's stopgap. He's a place filler, and you say, hey, maybe this guy can play, and you can hide him a little bit with the help of the guards that we have, because we have some very good guards.
Yep.
I think that's pretty much what he is. I think it's a move that you had to make.
They needed a veteran, wouldn't you say?
It was decent. It was a decent.
They didn't give up much, so
not
it was a
bad.
good deal.
Yeah. So even though I'm not super high on the guy, I think he's a really good pickup for what the Bears needed at that point in time.
I could see Poles trying to recoup that 5th-round pick he sent for the 27 draft is supposed to be one of the greatest ever. It's supposed to be loaded with just tons of talent. I mean, this draft is deep with a lot of good players. I don't know if there's that many great players. As far as the Bears, I mean, I could see him taking a cornerback. Jalen Johnson's getting a little bit up in age. He had the horrible injury. It was torn groin muscle off the bone. That was painful. A guy, God bless him for coming back. I didn't expect him to come back. Tyreek Stevenson has been, he's been good. Sometimes he really plays good, and sometimes he just doesn't play good, man. Yeah. So, he's going to be out of a contract soon. They could be looking to upgrade there. Man, this draft has some good cornerbacks right where the Bears are picking around 25. AJ Terrell's little brother's a good little player. Both Tennessee cornerbacks really good. Dermot McCoy and Colton Hood, both those guys really good. Then there's some long corners in the draft as well that the Dennis Allen loves. We have Zay Frazier still from a draft pick last year that sat out last season for personal reasons. I could still see him signing some kind. First round is where you get cornerbacks. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's where you find the studs, the ones that are worthy of a first round pick, left tackles. If a left tackle fell to 25, I don't know if they would take one. I see him maybe taking, it looks like they want to give Braxton Jones and Jedrick Wills the shot at, winning that left tackle. This guy was a first round pick, Zim.
I wouldn't be surprised if like last year when Josh Simmons fell in the draft and KC was like, well, we're not going to not draft this guy. Granted, he had injury problems. He got injured in the season again, but I wouldn't be surprised to see if somebody like that slips to them, where it's like, this guy is a surefire day one starter. Yeah, he's got a pretty low ceiling, but a pretty high floor. Like, just take the swing, take the layup when it comes to you, you know. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that either.
Yeah, he had an injury that took a year off to recover from that injury. He came back, wasn't really healthy. But if he's fully healthy, it was a good move by Poles. You know, it's a really 1 year, $5 million. Just kind of if it works out, man, he look like a genius. If it doesn't work out, you didn't give up anything. You know, but the left tackles that might fall to 25. You wonder if the team is thinking about taking maybe one of those guys, but I think it's going to be pass rush, edge, or cornerback. I forgot to ask when we were doing food. Is like, what's like the one thing you got to have when you go to the ballpark? For me, if I was going to Wrigley Field, it'd be a best kosher dog with grilled onions. Because man, all I have to do is smell that when I walk into Wrigley Field, and I'm instantly hungry. Yeah. You know, but I would say a hot dog with grilled onions, or Polish with grilled onions for me. I gotta have. Joe.
Impossible question, but definitely. If I'm going to a Sox game, it's a little different than everywhere else. If I'm going to a Sox game, you definitely got to get your Vienna beef dog with grilled onions on it.
Yep.
Also, I think an honorable mention at Sox Park is the Cuban sandwich. I think it's slept on big time.
You love those things, man. You always talk about it.
Fitz is married to a Cubana.
Yeah. Yeah, we make some pretty good ones at home. So
you got to get extra mojo on that.
Yeah.
And let's see. I got one more, and it's the corned beef sandwich from the deli in when you come up the ramp on the right side. It comes with like a slaw, like a jalapeno slaw on it, and it comes with like an impossibly large mound of chips, and then if you tip them, they'll give you like 3 pickles. So highly recommend it. It's the best bang for your buck in the ballpark. I think it's like $13. And it's just a thick corned beef sandwich. It's not hot. It's a cold corned beef, but like it's delicious. You got the little slaw on there, and it's like a little bit of a slight. I don't know if it's a Thousand Island or if it's like a creamy, whatever it is. It's amazing. So highly recommended Sox Park.
Nice.
Right on, Zim.
Joe knows. Joe's been to a game with me before.
I know.
I'm happy if there's a beer in my hand, man. Honestly. I would never do the 999 challenge, though. I want to be clear on that one. Vinny has done that one, and holy shit. But
well, and it's another great thing to call out, Zim, is the White Sox have a hell of a selection of craft beer.
They do. So several years ago, when I went to a game with Joe, I managed to be lucky enough to go to 2 games in a row. It was Crosstown Classic Series, and I went to 2 of the 3 games.
One good one and one really bad one.
I don't know. It was a good time. I got to hang out with some good friends, you know?
Yes.
I'm not too mad
about it.
Lance
Lynn get absolutely shellacked.
Oh, my gosh.
He had like this magic season, and he got shelled for 1 game. And, of course, it was the one we went to.
The one that we went to.
But the next game, I watched the whole thing from that little beer cave underneath Section 108. And it just constantly, I'm getting a beer. I'm watching for an inning or 2 and sipping on the thing. And it was like, I don't want to exaggerate, but probably about 900 degrees outside.
It was freaking hot.
And
that's 2021.
That sounds right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Okay. I was at the Friday night game that lasted like 5 hours.
That was the one I didn't go to. I went to the Saturday and the Sunday game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because that Friday game went like a million innings.
It's still going on.
Yeah.
It just the Sox kept hitting home runs, and the Cubs would hit a few home runs. It was like 20-17 or so. It was, oh god.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. And the Sunday game was similar to that, except the Cubs ran out of gas about halfway through, and the Sox just kept mashing.
Yeah.
But no. I mean, I will say when I go to Sox Park, I'm searching out either a Polish or a beef, depending on the mood I'm in. Those are like the
Bona
two
beef?
food staples. Yes, Bona beef. I will hunt those down. I will walk the entire concourse. And even though they don't move, I don't know the stadium that well. So I'll walk the entire concourse to go find them.
And the thing about Sox Park is you're walking the stadium, you can still pay attention to the game.
Yes.
You can still see the game. So it's not a bad walk. It's not a bad thing to do, to walk around the stadium. You can still pay attention.
Yeah.
Danikin, what do you got to have when you go to the ballpark?
Man, I get a Chicago dog, man. That's my thing. You know what I mean? If I go, that's what I want to get. If I go to White Sox Park, I'm gonna probably get a Beggar's Pizza if it's available. I'm gonna do that. I could have Beggar's Pizza out here. Quick story. I went to I went to Myrtle Beach, right? And Myrtle Beach Pelicans are, single A baseball team for the Cubs. Mm-hmm. And I went there. They have these bats, right? They have the bat with the beer in it. Oh. So I had one of those, of course. And believe it or not, they got the down there. They have the marquee is down there as well, at the stadium, and they also do Chicago dogs there. So I was like excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Fitz.
Yeah, it's hard to beat a hot dog and a beer at the ballpark, especially on a hot summer day. And it doesn't.
It's a classic.
It's like. Well, what kind of beer? Well, a cold one. That's all. That's really all I'm asking for is that it's cold. So, I love the Comiskey burgers. It's a double cheeseburger with the Merck's cheddar cheese and was it the salsa on there? I really enjoy those. I love the Irish nachos, the big helmet with French fries and sour cream and bacon and all that. Yeah, that's one of those things that my daughters will always go get around the fifth inning. I will have forgotten about it. I had my hot dog at the beginning, and then all of a sudden my daughter comes back with a big helmet. Like, oh, that's perfect. Let's go. It gets back into you so you can have another few beers. But yeah, I'm gonna this year. I think I'm gonna go back and get some fresh wings at Comiskey. Those were so good today. They weren't like right out of the oven. So I'm thinking if I get them like right, when they're done at the stadium, those the wings were really good. But yeah, a hot dog is, for me, you can't beat it. A hot dog. Polish. Well, the Polish they say for after the game, I go down to the Maxwell Street Depot on 31st Street.
Oh my God!
And get a Polish or a pork chop sandwich. Those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh yeah.
Maxwell Street Depot is delicious.
Yeah,
but it will absolutely destroy your insides in the best way possible.
Yeah, the pork chop.
But Fitz said if that was the case, then mine would have been destroyed a long time ago. Right?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I've been blessed because I just don't have those issues, So yeah, after the game, that's always the go-to. You walk down there, let the crowd, filter out, get a pork chop or a Polish, and then head to your car. Maybe stop by Cork and Carry and grab a beer. But yeah, I love that all of the Maxwell streets around Chicago.
I remember
35th Street Red Hots is solid too, man.
Yes, definitely.
It's a depression style dog for those of you that are not familiar. It's the dog, the snap dog, the Vienna beef, and then they put the fries in it.
Yep.
And they bundle it up.
Nice.
And if you order ketchup, they ring the bell.
Yes, bell of shame.
Yeah.
Where's this place again?
35th Street.
Literally on 35th Street. It's like across the away from the park.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right
across the street and under the underpass. Yeah.
Under the viaduct.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great
spot. A lot of great spots around.
Rico Benny's is not too far from there either.
Oh, okay.
Rico Benny's, that's north of the Maxwell Street. Punky's Pizza. To the north, Bill's Pizza to the west.
Bill's Pizza is like my top five.
George's on Halstead has one of the cheapest pizza puffs around. Last time I was there, it was under $3. So, and great gyros over there. So yeah,
is, the original home run in pizza still there? It's like 26th in California. No, where was it?
That's the prison. What are you
the prison? That was one of the K's that it was out there.
Yeah, it's 31st.
31st.
The original building's gone.
Okay.
And they kind of, I went there a few years ago, and I was really disappointed just because the building they put up just had no aesthetics. It was just sort of like this square black building, and they had an old chandelier, like one of those old bar ones from the original, but it just was like, it had no character or just anything that the original had, but the pizza was still good, you know?
Yeah. The original pizza was awesome at the original one. Unreal. Was it on Kimball or Costner?
I think Costner.
Costner. Yeah. I don't know, couldn't remember. But 31st Street, not 26. Okay, I couldn't remember. I know when I was working night shift at downtown, one of my jobs, we used to drive over there and get pizza for the night shift. You know, take up a collection run there and get a bunch of pizzas.
Yeah, it's home run ins are very good.
Joe, you had the original home run in pizza, or was that gone already?
I had never had the original. I had some of the chains. I had the one that used to be at Midway Airport. You know.
Yeah,
never again.
Their frozen pizza is amazing too.
Yeah, it is. It's real good. That's the one frozen pizza that I can get it from.
Put it on the grill.
Yeah,
put it on the grill.
Yep.
Yeah, you said that before. I need to try that. I will try that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Connie's thin crust frozen pizza is really good too.
Oh.
I used to pizza there in Illinois.
Original. I used to live steps away in Chinatown, Tooch.
The original was there. Okay. Yeah, Connie's.
I believe that's the original.
We had a Connie's in Naperville when I was when I was in high school. A bunch of my brother used to work at the Connie's in Naperville, busboy. Yeah, you ever have Connie's pizza, Fitz?
Oh yeah. The last time I had it at a restaurant, I think it was Aurora had one out near Fox Valley Mall. That was a long time ago, but they have like trucks all over the place. You can order it, and they've got a truck that cooks the pizza, and they'll bring it like to your work or whatever.
Yeah, selling slices out of the truck. We used to have them. That's great. We used to have or when I worked in the city, I used to have the truck stop by our workplace.
Mm-hmm.
So
remember that jerk chicken spot, dude?
Yeah. It was, they used to have a truck too, right? Yeah, it was amazing. Oh, yeah. And that's what's great about Chicago. When I've been at a lot of jobs where at lunchtime just walk out and the food trucks will come. And there's remember the generic food truck? It's just like a stainless steel truck, and open up, they got like sandwiches wrapped.
Ham and cheese sandwich.
Oh yeah. When I was younger working jobs, man, the generic food truck. And then, at the last I was working over at Perillo, Joe, and with some of the guys we used to work with, and they had a taco truck. The guy came, he had all different kinds of Mexican food, plus he had some of that generic food truck stuff. But man, I was like 3 tacos.
A roach coach, exactly. That's what I was about to say.
Roach coach. Yeah.
Somebody just said that.
Yeah,
I was like, that's
right,
exactly
PC?
what it
is. My man. Nice job, PC. The roach coach. Man, I used to order like 3 tacos for $5. You know, they weren't giant, but it was like 3 tacos for $5. Man, I was like,
those roach coaches are always outside of the courthouses too.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you ever eat off those, Fitz?
Oh yeah. When I was going to class at Columbia, 25 years ago, they had one that South Loop area. It's like if you didn't see it then, it's like none of that was built up, and you had all these empty lots everywhere, and you would have just like a hot dog stand over here and something over over there. And I remember getting hot dog, fries, and a Coke for $2.19.
Oh, can't beat it.
Out the door, just so you have your dime and nickel and 4 pennies and $2,
Nice.
and you're out the door.
Fitz, I just found out you and I share in common. We're both Columbia College Chicago alums.
Oh yeah, my daughter is too.
No shit, nice.
Yep. 2022 she was.
I had a couple of my high school friends went to school there.
I can't. It's like she doesn't believe me when I tell her what it was like in the 90s. There was like a dorm for out-of-state kids. If you lived in Chicago, you could not. There was no dorm for you,
right?
And you could actually see the Harrison station from the building because there was nothing in between it. There was
sure,
Yep. Yeah, you were there. What, late 90s?
Early 90s.
Early 90s. Okay, so my classmates would have been like late 80s, early 90s. There.
It's like 3 buildings.
Yeah. And I used to go down there. They would ride the train from Naperville, and then walk from Union Station. But
the radio station, you could only hear it like if you were around the block.
Right.
88.7 was it?
Right. Yeah. Got about 15 minutes left. Maybe we'll talk a little like, what have you seen movie-wise or TV shows? Danikin and I started watching The Hunting Party.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, my wife and I are really enjoying it too.
Okay. All right.
It's on Netflix now. I think it was a channel, NBC or something earlier.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Yeah, it was. I think so.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, man.
It's not bad at all. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Dexter Light, only we're hunting the serial killer instead of watching the serial killer
exactly
hunt everyone else. But
exactly.
Yeah.
They got some good ones, man. This is some good episodes. I'm still on it. I'm still watching. I haven't watched it in a couple of weeks now, but yeah, I gotta check. I gotta continue on and see what's going on.
Good Luck, Take Care, Don't Die. It's really great if you haven't seen it. It's like 12 Monkeys.
The time travel movie, right?
Good time travel movie, man. It's fucking hilarious, and Sam Rockwell is really good and stuff.
Nice.
It's kind of like it has a message too. It's like, don't be on your phone all the time. That's the message, because AI takes over and they get you through the phones and stuff.
Is that streaming?
I think it just came out.
Yeah, it is. It was on my stick. I have the cheat code.
He does not. He's just kidding, folks.
I'm just kidding, folks. Yeah. What about you, Joe? Anything?
Oh man. Well, first and foremost, the trailer today dropped for Spider-Man No Way, or the heck is it called? Brand New Day. And it looks phenomenal. So looking
my
forward
son
to that.
called me about that.
I'm like 3 Spider-Man movies behind, so I might need to catch up.
I never got into Spider-Man. Do I have to start at like Spider-Man?
What do you mean you never got into Spider-Man?
There was one. That was when I was having kids. Okay.
What do you mean it was when you were having kids? It came out in the 60s, my guy.
No,
just started Homecoming, Fitz. You started Spider-Man Homecoming.
Okay, I know Spider-Man. I watched those campy,
the cartoons,
the TV show back in.
Okay, all right.
Movies, I just never got into.
I read the comics through middle school and high school, like before the Tobey Maguire movies came out, and then the Tobey Maguire movies started coming out, and that was like that started the whole thing. And oh my god! But yeah, sorry.
So started Homecoming, and I'll be all right.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My son called me today about that Spider-Man. He's like, the Spider-Man trailer came out today, and I'm at work. I'm like, yeah, let me get back to work.
You're like, that's
but
great.
he's so into Spider-Man. Like my kid, he used to. He still does from time to time. The TV show Spider-Man, like from 1970s or 60s or whatever it was, with the
the old.
I'm like, he's watched
one.
all of it. Every Spider-Man that you could think of, he's watched it. It's crazy.
Because the 90s one was okay until Carnage came along, and that was when I was like, what the hell are we doing?
He watched those. He watched the old ones. I'm like, what is this?
Before that, he's
the old cartoons, man.
Yeah, the old cartoons.
Old cartoons was the best, man.
He watches those.
He would fall from his web and he'd bounce on the ground a little bit.
Yeah.
Those are the great themes music too.
But Tooch, I will say that the last great television series I watched, I know you watched it too, but A Night of the Seven Kingdoms was phenomenal.
If you haven't seen it, it's so good, man.
I need to check that out too.
It's like Don Quixote, but in the Game of Thrones universe.
Nice.
It's the best Game of Thrones show. I'm going to say it's better than Game of Thrones.
Yeah, better than House of Dragon too. Yep.
Really?
Wow. I think so.
It's a different vibe. It's a different vibe. There's no dragons.
It was so much. It was like to absorb. This is kind of like there's a lot to absorb too, but not as much. It's a little more focus.
Okay.
It's funny too.
And it's funny.
Yeah.
I had to check it out.
It doesn't take itself totally serious, but it has serious moments.
Yeah, the first 10 seconds of the show, you're going to be like, what the fuck? Tooch knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Zim, anything?
Oh, man. Where do I start? We've been watching the new season of The Pit, which has been, I don't know. It was a little slow start compared to the first season, but like that was one of my complaints with the first season. So it feels like a little bit of an overcorrection. You know, the first season, it was like, there is no way that this much is actually happening. And then the second season, it's like, come on, something happened, you know? But it's getting towards the climax of the season, it feels like. So it's really starting to pick up. It's got us hooked for sure. Let's see, we're on like episode 9 going into episode 10 airing this week. Nice. And there's only 15 episodes, so we're past the halfway point in the season. For anybody interested in those old medical dramas, it's supposed to be highly accurate according to what the doctors say. I would never know. And season 1 was amazing. Aldo was ranting and raving about it, which is what got me to sit down and watch it. I think I watched all 15 episodes in 2 days. Wow. I loved it. So we've been watching week by week as it goes along. Nice. I've also been watching the new, speaking of medical shows, I've been watching the new Scrubs series, which is nostalgic.
It's like reboot.
Yes, it's a reboot with the 3 main characters, you know, Sarah Chalk and Zach Braff and Donald Faison. The 3 of them are all back.
They're veterans now.
They are. You know, it's telling the stories of, you know, they're no longer the interns. They're now the chief of surgery and the chief of medicine, and they're running the hospital now. And you get to see them in the teacher view, you know, how JD takes all the things that Dr. Cox taught him and applies it to his work differently now. Nice. Rather than taking it as advice.
Flashbacks too at all? Flashbacks?
Some of it, yeah, but you'll need to watch it. It's very good. Yeah. If you enjoyed Scrubs, it's enjoyable. The acting is a bit more melodramatic than the original show, so it's a little bit more tongue-in-cheek. It's not quite as flowing, I would say. You can definitely tell that they've aged a little bit and they've lost some acting chops. That's okay. Sarah Chalk is the only one who's still like up to snuff, and it's because she's the only one who's been getting consistent work for the last 20 years since the show's been off the air. So, and then lastly, streaming on HBO, we've been watching DTF St. Louis. We have not watched the newest episode yet, but it's fun. It's kind of a tongue-in-cheek like murder mystery. And the way that it's telling the story has been very interesting. The first episode, it basically just told the story. It was like, this is what happened. This is your beginning, middle, and end of the crime and how it occurred and all that. And then the second episode is like this character's involvement in the crime. And the next episode is that character's involvement in the crime, and so on and so forth. And it kind of slowly breaks down this whole web. But at the same time, it's a comedy drama. You know, it stars Jason Bateman. And I don't know his name, but the guy who plays Jim Hopper on Stranger Things.
David Harbour.
Yeah, David Harbour.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And
wow.
What's and Linda Cardellini.
DTF?
DTF St. Louis. Yeah.
So DTF doesn't stand for what I think anymore.
No, it does stand for what you think it stands for. All right. Yes.
That was like some kind of task force, but down to, that was always what I thought,
Yep, because
that's why I married my wife, Zim. She's always DTF at Danikin.
Ooh.
I can't unsee that.
To feed me, man.
Yeah.
It's a salad, bro.
A little salad. Nice little whoops of Greek salad, baby.
I got cookies because I knew we were going to be talking food, and I could not have a snack next to me.
I had to eat before I came out here, but put some wings in the air fryer. Lemon pepper wings in the air fryer.
There we go.
The Frozen.
Yeah, so that's
good.
been my TV roster these days. Again, recommend all 3 shows. Scrubs, I will say, I only recommend if you've watched the original one. If you haven't watched the original Scrubs, the new series is just going to go completely over your head. It's probably going to be boring, and you're going to be like, "What the hell?" They're playing heavily on the nostalgia factor. That's for sure. But the other 2, DTF St. Louis, fun, enjoyable. Little slow moving at times, and The Pit. I mean, best medical drama on TV right now.
Yeah, I love The Pit. My wife won't watch it with me. She says like being at work.
Fair enough.
You don't like
nurse,
it.
You know? What about you, Danikin? Any?
Man, I haven't. To be honest, I've been so busy. I haven't even gotten a chance to watch anything recently. I know I spoke about The Fugitive, and I was thinking about missing the show
little March Madness, maybe.
I'm definitely ready for that, man. Definitely.
Yeah,
I mean,
great players, man.
Yeah.
Cameron.
It's like my favorite time of the year, man. Thursday, Friday, just
the first weekend is great.
If you're at work, you're not really working. You know what I mean? You're checking the
score.
Does that start this week or next?
Tomorrow.
This week, yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a last few days of betting on NCAA basketball. I've been like cleaning up right now. At the end, I kind of know like where it's going, with some of the teams and stuff, and I'm not making stupid bets. I had a big night the last 2 nights. Two big nights in a row, and then man, I gotta say I would take Duke minus the points, Arizona minus the points in that first round, because man, this year it's been those little schools against the big schools, just like. It's just way too big of a step, man. Last year, too, I played the big chalk and did all right. But, Fitz, you like March Madness?
Oh, yeah, sure do.
You guys got your brackets filled out?
I don't have a bracket filled. I haven't filled one out recently because it's too much of a crapshoot anymore.
It's still got a little time. I got Arizona winning it all. I don't know. I was like just the way it came out. Iowa State making the Elite 8. We got 3 Iowa teams in the tournament.
Purdue might make a run. They seem to be sort of coming together at the right time. I got them
making the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 too.
They're
Duke is awfully tough, man. Cameron Boozer's monster. If you get a chance to watch them, they might only be in one game, but Cal Baptist has an amazing player, Dominique Daniels. And BYU, AJ DeBanson, he's really good. Some really excellent. But Bennett Sturtz on Iowa. That little dude, he's really good point guard. A great shooter.
Illinois should make the Sweet 16.
Illinois. They'll make Elite 8. Illinois.
They're gonna be Houston.
Yep. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
No.
Yep, I think so.
I used to fill out.
Houston's not as good, man. They're still good.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll be tough. I mean, Iowa State. I think we beat them this year.
Yeah.
We almost beat Arizona and kind of fell apart at the end, but got some good. In Illinois, got like the Croatian national team.
Yeah,
like
a bunch of shooters.
Still though, man, like mountains. There's a lot of size. A veteran team. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Man, you guys still got time to fill out a bracket. Aaron Current has a bracket pool. I joined his bracket pool. But yeah, looking forward to March Madness. Let's wrap it up. We're going to get out of here real soon.
Can I give my shows that I've watched?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I totally forgot. Of course.
I got back into I like the Harlan Corbin series. The series
love those.
On Netflix. We watched the new one, Runaway. That was very good.
So good.
Yeah, it was very good. But then I watched one I hadn't seen, The Innocent. I didn't like that. No. It just seemed like every episode was like they were backstory on somebody. It was just kind of it kind of dragged for me just hearing all the backstories. But definitely Runaway. I would if you're into that.
Yeah,
8 episodes.
Did you see the one with Dexter starred in it? I forget the name of it. The actor who plays Dexter. He was in one of those Harlan Coben ones.
Oh, was he?
Netflix. Oh, so good. That was really. If you like Runaway,
James
that one.
Nesbitt in there, great.
James Nesbitt is great. Yeah.
From Waking Ned Divine.
Yeah.
Farmer.
He was in The Hobbit.
Yes. Yeah.
He played one of the dwarves.
Yeah.
In The Hobbit. But But yeah, if you liked Runaway, it's almost the same story, just similar story. He's a dad who's looking for his daughter. Runaway, another story like that. But it's what was that guy's name? Michael C. Hall. Is that the actor who plays Dexter? Yeah.
Yes.
That one is on Netflix. That was really good. I mean, I think Runaway was a little better. It just had like that one private investigator fat lady. She was phenomenal.
Yeah, I
don't give it away.
I won't. Yeah,
she was excellent, man. I was like, I didn't think I would like her character at all, and then man, I got really attached to her. She was excellent. Really did. When you start to understand like what she went through. Yeah. Fantastic show, great character development. It's called Runaway. A lot of those Harlan Coben ones are great. But yeah, any movies?
No, I haven't seen a movie in a while.
Anybody see Bugonia?
Mm-mm.
No, it was really good. If you get a chance, Jesse Plemons is the star.
Emma Stone, right?
Yes, Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. Man, the acting is freaking awesome, man. It's just a crazy story where Jesse Plemons and his cousin are like conspiracy theorists. They kidnap Emma Stone because they think she's an alien. It's fucking crazy as hell, man. You got to see it. Really good movie. It's called Bugonia. But yeah, we'll wrap it up. We'll go around the horn for some shout outs and stuff, man. I just want to, before we get out of like the Bears off season, I know we started Bears off season and what you thought, whether they think, to me, they won the off season so far. They always win the off season recently. I know we say that every time. This time, I mean, they traded DJ Moore for a second round pick. They offloaded that big contract we talked about forever. We didn't want it to happen, but they correctly read the center market. They didn't give big contracts to these centers, like $27 million for Tyler Linderbaum. They didn't pay outrageous contracts to those centers. They traded for Garrett Bradbury. It didn't cost them much. Salary is a total bargain. And then you replace some aging veterans with younger, faster players. Mm-hmm. You increase the roster depth with the defensive tackles and linebackers and defensive backs, creating a lot of competition. Man, my one thing I would think of, like, after all these defensive tackle signing is what's Gervon Dexter thinking, Danikin? Besides, where's my honey bun? He stopped eating the honey buns. He's going to have to fight for that for a starting position, man.
Hey, he's gonna, and that's what's up, man. I like the competition part of it. I think I think he's gonna continue to improve, though. I think the Bears are much better.
This is his last season
than what we thought. Yeah. I think he'll be good. I think with the addition of the defensive tackle, I think Nevin Gallimore is going to be good for us. I think Austin Booker, like I said earlier today, and Montez Sweat, that 4-4 will be much better than what they were last year, I believe. Mm-hmm.
They're going to light a fire under Gervon, those veterans.
Yeah.
I want to thank my guest Joe Mandel for last minute coming on. I figure socks, ballpark food, and Fitz. Like you and I don't know why you and Fitz should be best friends. You guys are like the same guy.
Right. I like it, man. Yeah, we went to the same college. Small world.
Same college. You both love the socks and ballpark food, and Fitz has got YouTube videos, and Joe does eulogizes famous people with Mike North. It's
that's right, and we'll be on tomorrow night, Tooch. We'll be on tomorrow night.
I know who did die. I don't know.
It's actually our biggest sponsor, Cumberland Chapels. The founder of Cumberland
Chapels,
Anthony Lupo Sr. passed away, so we're doing a little 10-minute show tomorrow.
Mike North tribute. That'll be good.
Yeah, 7:30 tomorrow.
And thank all the Barflies for being here tonight. Go ahead, Joe. Shout them out. Anything else you got to shout out? Congratulations.
Man, shout out. Yeah, thank you. Shout out to everybody in the chat for hanging out with us tonight. Ton of fun. Yep. Love talking with you guys all night. It's been fun to hang out. Shout out to you two. It's been a minute since we've been on the air together since football season. So happy to be back. Same with you, Zim.
We'll be back doing fantasy football, Goon, before you know it.
In no time at all. And we got Zim and I have a fantasy baseball draft coming up on Sunday.
Yes.
Does Fitz play fantasy football?
I don't do fantasy sports anymore. I retired from that.
I remember when you didn't have, we had to look at the newspaper the next day in the 80s. That's how long I've been playing.
Between the way my last baseball and football season went, I'm beginning to think I should probably also retire from fantasy sports. I gotta say, I'm very glad I did not contribute much to Fantasy Football Goon last season because I would have had people at my door with pitchforks.
I don't know. You always have some interesting takes.
I went out on top my last fantasy football.
Retired on top.
Yes, it was a dramatic fashion. So I just said, "That's it.
I'm done." Retired a champion.
I did.
There you
Zim, any shout outs?
Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Shout out to friends and family. Everybody hug someone you love. No particular reason. Just hug someone you love. Yeah, you don't need a reason. Just do it.
That's right.
It's like all those listening. He says
that was me. That was
me.
Oh,
okay. I thought it was you. Okay, I was like, I forgot. You're.
I just jacked your chat.
That's all right. Fitz, shout it out.
Yeah, shout out to the White Sox for putting it together today. You know,
heck yeah.
The team that has Bill Veeck in their bloodline is still,
Bill Veeck. Oh my God,
putting stuff out there for people to come.
I went to a couple Bill Veeck promotions as a kid.
Oh my God,
the White Sox played in short pants. I was
like,
I felt so sorry for the players, man.
Yeah.
You better slide on your butt like they taught you in Little League, man. Another time he had like bizarre foods. There was like roasted grasshoppers and chocolate covered ants. They were selling for food at Sox Park. I swear to God, when I was a little kid, it scared the hell out of me.
I think last year they had a Bill Veeck bobblehead with the wooden leg. I think
they did. Yeah,
look up the roasted grasshoppers and chocolate covered ants at Sox Park. I'm sure there's a story about it.
Oh man,
that was another thing. They showed a lot of the promotions today, so there's got a lot of good bobbleheads,
history
jerseys,
of future productions, right, or promotions.
Yeah, for this year.
Nice. Like Star Wars night.
Always have a Star Wars night. Always have an Elvis night.
Joe will be at Star Wars night, maybe.
I am. I do have tickets for Star Wars.
Yeah,
they are giving away. It's a special ticket. It's a Grogu bobblehead. Nice. And he holds it a White Sox baseball. It's awesome.
Very cool.
So, are the girls old enough to take them yet, or are you still getting sitters and just going with
No, they're coming. They're all coming.
Nice. I love that.
It's a day game, thankfully. Sox. It's the first time in a hot minute that Star Wars Day is on a Sunday.
Yeah,
and it's a afternoon game, and it's also Family Sunday, so there's cheap parking.
Friday,
that makes it so much easier.
Friday, June 5th is Star Wars night at Iowa Cubs Principal Park.
Huh. I'll have to look up if the Storm Chasers are doing anything.
What day is Star Wars night at the rate?
I think it's April. I'm pulling it up right now.
It's close. It's coming up.
It's before May because it's when the Mandalorian and Grogu comes out in late May. It's Sunday, April 26th.
Great show.
Wow.
Did you guys get snow? Did you guys get snow by you?
We did. I got some this morning. Yeah, when I woke up,
we had a light dusting, but it was freezing. I was like, Monday, Monday was like 8 degrees out.
They had us waiting outside this morning to get our credentials. There was a line.
It was freezing.
It's not the White Sox unless you're waiting to get in.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow you should get 60s because it was like 65 here today.
Yeah, it was nice when we got out of there, but this morning waiting in line to get. We were all freezing. We're like, come on,
let
us in.
Looks like a Star Wars night.
I'm uploading the Star. Oh, of course, I got to delete a picture.
Yeah, let me see. I'll delete one for you. Hold on.
I just did. I deleted Dexter. Javon Dexter.
Yeah, that's fine.
Here's the White Sox Star Wars Day Grogu bobblehead. It's a special ticket you got to buy, but it's pretty sick.
Oh man, it's floating. The ball's floating.
Oh, that's dope.
Killer, man. It's got the sock logo on the ball.
That is pretty cool.
That is fucking
cool. So I got the 3 tickets. My youngest, the 1-year-old, will be a lap child. So
can you get 3 bobbleheads?
Yes, I do. I guaranteed 3 because you get it with your ticket.
Sweet.
As long as you get to the section where they're handing it out and they scan your barcode, as long as you don't wait until like the last second, you should.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
They gotta. You guys have encouraged me to start looking into this. The minor league game nights. They've got a Runza night.
Nice.
Oh my god!
Oh, you have to go.
They changed their name for one night. They come out as
the minor league games
Runzas.
are fun, man. They're a blast too. I ain't gonna lie.
And
I haven't been to a minor league game since I was as young as Joe's kids, man. Like it's been forever. My family used to take us to the Kane County Cougars games.
Oh wow!
And I have very little memories of that.
That was that one when Ron Kittle was managing.
Okay.
I have one for you.
2001.
So White Sox and Yankees played at the Field of Dreams. I don't know, a couple years back, a few years back.
You were there?
I wasn't there. I have been to the field in Dyersville, Iowa. Yep. This year, the Iowa Cubs will play the St. Paul Saints August 11th in just the second minor league baseball game at the field. And the game will precede an August 13th major league game featuring the Twins and the Phillies.
St. Paul Saints, that's Bill Veck's son, right?
Yeah, it was owned by Bill Murray at one point.
Yeah.
St. Paul Saints. The actor Bill Murray.
You know, one thing I didn't expect moving to Iowa, you know, speaking of the Field of Dreams games.
Have you been to the field yet?
I have not.
You got to go.
But one thing that surprised me is how many rural properties, because of that movie, just have baseball fields on the property. You can go, I mean, you can look all over Iowa right now. You'll find at least 4 or 5 properties for sale for under $300,000 with a baseball field in the yard, like full size, 300-foot fences. Like, I mean, I was not prepared for that. And you can just go drive down any rural highway and you'll see them. It's crazy.
There's a miniature. There's a place in Iowa, I think it's in Iowa. But there's a town that has like the little league fields are miniature stadiums, like Wrigley Field, Fenway. Have you been to that one? Where is that one?
Cool.
Yeah, it's great, man. My son and I stopped and checking out the field. I would love to grow up there and play little league there, playing one of these rather like small scale replicas of the fields. But the Dyersville one, man, I ran the bases, Danikin. I'm going to run the bases. I get it round first. I got to give the Kirk Gibson pump. My wife got it on video. Him, Fitz.
Oh, you got to share that video. I need to see it.
I'll upload it next time.
All right.
Now, I texted Joe about this earlier today, and I want you guys to weigh in. Speaking of minor league games and baseball promotions and things of that nature, are you all familiar with the Savannah Bananas?
Yeah.
I've seen a couple games from them. A couple weeks ago?
That's a Georgia minor league team.
They are like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball.
Yeah.
Well, wow. I had an opportunity to buy tickets today to go see them out in Lincoln, Nebraska. The problem is they're playing at the football stadium.
Oh, jeez.
So
massive.
When it came my turn in line to get tickets, the only tickets I could get were all the way in right field. The problem with this is that the end zone, or rather home plate is in one end zone, and right field is in the opposite end zone.
Okay.
And I elected not to get tickets because I felt that it was too far away, that it wouldn't be as good of an experience because I wouldn't be very close to the action. Did I mess up or did I make the right call?
You made the right call.
You messed up.
What did I tell you earlier?
Joe told me I messed up. Joe told me there's no such thing as a bad ticket to see the Bananas.
Yeah, from what I hear, it's really fun, man. It's really fun. They got a lot of things that go on that you don't see it on television. So just different things like
are they anywhere closer than Lincoln for us, or no?
At this point in time, no. But my hope is they have been petitioning the College World Series for the last 2 years to play at Charles Schwab Stadium as sort of an opening to the College World Series. They play a banana ball game, and then the College World Series starts immediately afterwards. I'm like, man, that would be awesome. So my thought is at some time in the near-ish future, they will play closer to home, and I will get my opportunity then.
They played a couple weeks ago. What was it, last week or a couple weeks ago now? I think they were playing at Doak Campbell Stadium in Florida State, the Seminoles for the play.
Wow.
So the setup, if you saw that game, you would have probably seen kind of like what the setup would have been.
Right. Yeah. And the longer I thought about it, the more I was like, man, I really messed up. I could have gone to that game. But at the same time, it's like, look, I held off for a reason. When the time's right, the time will be right. I felt a little weird because I wouldn't be able to take the whole family for various reasons. So I was like, you know what? I want to do it together with all of us. So I probably would not have hesitated nearly as hard on pulling the trigger if the whole family could go. So anyway, that was my little question for you guys, as long as we were talking about all that. And, you know, it's fresh in my mind. It just happened today. I had my phone in my hands ready to type in my credit card number. And I said, I don't think these are good enough seats.
You're all right. You'll be okay.
There'll be other chances.
Any shout outs?
And shout out to Three Kings in the Midway podcast, of course. That's the podcast that we do. We have been on a little hiatus, but we are going to get back into the studio here in a couple of weeks and get some Bears content up and going. Shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to Aldo. You know, he's working behind the scenes still. So people, shout out to him. You know, guys in the chat, you guys, you know, he's still here. He's still with us. You know what I mean? And we're looking forward to having him back at some point in time too.
Yeah, he looks great, healthier.
Yeah, he looks good.
So that's a good thing. Good thing. And shout out to you guys, man. Nice show today. I appreciate Joe. You know what I mean? You coming on and hanging out with us today. Made it fun. Fitz, man.
Yeah, man.
Great video as usual. And when I get up there, man, we definitely got to go somewhere and get something. I'm gonna let you pick the spot. I trust you blindly. I blindly will follow you wherever we go to get something to eat.
Okay. All right.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm gonna thank all you guys. Great job tonight. Well, this is a show. It was really fun, man. I was like, Aldo would have loved this show.
Yeah.
You know, he would have had a good time talking about all this stuff in the past. Hopefully he catches it and enjoys it. Gotta shout out my son and his new fiance, Montana. I'm really glad I got a sweetheart daughter-in-law. And I just love her. She's an angel. Just a great girl. Just goes to church, doesn't party, super sweet, loves my son to death. You know, it's like I couldn't be happier, really. I'm so happy for my son that I found somebody. It's just great news for my family. Hopefully they come out here, because I tell them, you know what, it's perfect if you guys move out here. You know, you guys want to go on vacation, I can go and let the dog out, walk the dog, whatever. And if I want to go out to a movie with my wife, they can babysit my girls. So yeah, it would be great. Hopefully they looked at houses last week here, you know, and they're kind of like, I don't know if we're ready to buy yet, but maybe in a little bit down the road. And then Aldo, of course, looks fantastic. He came back stronger. Hopefully he comes back, bare their souls, and looking forward to all the draft content we got coming up here. And I think we're going to be doing a little weekend sports betting tips, college basketball talk. I'm hoping to see what Sean and Anthony are doing on Friday. Get into the round of 32 Saturday, Sunday. So best of luck to everybody. Thanks to Barflies for dropping by and spending Wednesday night with us. And we will see you guys next week.
All right.
Take it easy, yo.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Hey, guys.
Good night.